can't tell if this is on right now. So anyway, what's going on, guys? It's Brad, and what I just wanted to talk a little bit about today is I just want to share my experience going from being somebody that was very, very into bodybuilding and the whole scene or whatever like that, not like a competitor, but more of like a gym rat, like a typical guy who just wanted to get huge and shredded and everything like that, and mess around with, all the different compounds and tried all the different routines and all that stuff like that. And the only reason I'm making this is to potentially dissuade some young kid who's about to go down the road of, trying a cycle because he's seen a Boston Lloyd video or, he's seen a Rich Piana video. And even though Rich Piana said specifically not to do steroids, to stay natural as long as possible, I'm going to try and be decent here, not keep it above the nipple line for sure. But the fact of the matter is that in my experience, most bodybuilders that I've met, and having been one myself to some degree, I can tell you that the things that are commonplace, most bodybuilders are extremely unhealthy. They're doing things that are hurting themselves big time, their health big time, and they rationalize it because they look good on the outside because of the compounds they're taking, not necessarily because of the dietary choices, definitely not because of the cardio, definitely not because of the flexibility, definitely not because of the blood work or anything like that. Nothing of that nature is healthy in bodybuilding. In fact, let me just explain a couple different ways that if you wanted to do bodybuilding, even if you wanted to run a cycle, how you could do it in a more safe way than is traditionally out there. For instance, there's a blog called GH15, right? I used to consult that blog all of the time. And it was a very interesting and compelling blog because on that blog, it's supposedly a guy who's like an IFBB pro at one point, and he's talking about the secrets of the pros. And supposedly he would say things like the secret dose of growth, like the secret way to get the pro physique is to take 15 IUs of pharmaceutical grade Sizin, growth hormone and Tren, But I'm here to tell you that he also, the diet, there's no mention of how much water intake you should take. There's no mention of what supplements you should be taking to protect your body, to ensure that your body runs well. Not to mention these hormones. I mean, if you're taking a lot of hormones, of any type, and then especially the highly androgenic ones like Tren or Trest or halotestin or anadrol or any of those things, you're really fucking yourself up big time. I've known a few people who have had heart attacks from this stuff, enlarged hearts. They've cut, beyond that, just the way that most of them feel. So anyway, we're not going to focus on the problem here. There's a healthy way to do bodybuilding, even if you wanted to do cycles and stuff. I'm not against cycles. If that's what you want to do, go for it. Fact of the matter is that when you do a cycle, especially when you do a higher dose or a really potent compound like Tren, Deca, any anabolic is very, very potent. Let's be real. The difference between somebody who's a natural and somebody who's on a steroid is huge. I mean, the water retention, the size, the amount of weight that you're carrying around, the inflammation, the breathing. You have labored breathing when you're on a high dose, maybe not necessarily like a TRT dose. There are plenty of guys who are on TRT and like SARMs and stuff who are, they breathe, they exercise. And there are also people on steroids who breathe and, they do MMA, they do cardio, they do stuff like that. But the majority of people who just do bodybuilding, they're focused on just making the muscle, making the physique look as good as possible, which is cool, but they're neglecting their health. So let me just give you a couple of things. Like if you're going to do it, go ahead, hey, you've made your decision. But it's my job to be influential, to add value. And I just want to give you guys a little heads up that, if you're going to do it, or if you want to stay natural, which is what I encourage you guys to do, stay natural, eat clean, eat a clean diet, eat a diet that is going to benefit your health. A great information source about this is the Bulletproof Diet by Dave Asprey. Now, this doesn't mean go and have a cup of butter coffee in the morning if you're a bodybuilder. That's not conducive to your goals. But what I am saying is that what he talks about there is like eating grass-fed beef, eating organic vegetables, cooking your foods at a lower temperature so you don't get free radicals, like the burned seared steak. Those are free radicals. Those are things that, like, the stuff on the bottom of the steak, the burn, is actually extremely inflammatory to your entire body. And it's going to actually prevent you from losing fat and prevent you from gaining muscle because your body swells up. Your inflammation, bad for your digestion. Taking probiotics. I highly recommend that. By the way, if you're interested in any of this, I do have a group on Facebook, Tea with Brad, which is very, very focused on diet and everything like that, and being healthy and preventing cancer, preventing disease, and also getting gains and getting in great shape. So with that said, make sure that diet is a focus. It's not diet, it's like a lifestyle. Eat grass-fed beef, eat healthy fats, take your vitamin C, D, multivitamin, multi-minerals, take care of yourself, drink plenty of water, drink 6, 7, 8 liters of water a day, do cardio. And by cardio, I don't mean a fucking step master, okay? You're not a 50-year-old goddamn woman, go for a run, sprint hills, do jujitsu, box, do MMA, do cool fucking shit. Don't be one of these guys who's just on a fucking step master. I mean, it's just not healthy. It's just not the way that we're meant to operate. I mean, you could do the step master sometimes, but get out, go for a run, ride a bike, do that kind of stuff, do yoga. What else? Learn to breathe. Honestly, avoid the harsher compounds. Avoid the orals. The orals are fucking you up, man. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how big and full you look. If you're taking Dianabol every single day for months at a high dose, you're fucking yourself up. You can't eat. You're lethargic. Everybody has that. If you're running Tren, you're extremely aggressive. You're extremely horny. You're getting acne out the fucking ass. Your blood lipid profile is all fucked up. Even if you take Cardarine, that's not, again, it's like Band-Aids on Band-Aids on Band-Aids. Many bodybuilders, they take Xanax to go to sleep. They take stimulants to cut. They take all these things, all these compounds at one time. And they're just like, fuck it. I'm doing it because it's part of my lifestyle. That's cool, but that doesn't mean that it's healthy. It doesn't mean it's serving you. It doesn't mean that you can actually help out your family or be a good influence on other people if you're taking all this shit. And again, like, it's a choice. If that's what you want to do, God bless you. But as well as I do, that's not the healthiest thing to do. That's not, your body's not being served in the best way possible. If you're going to do it, make sure that you're eating clean. That is the crazy thing. Dude, there are groups on Facebook that I'm part of where not only are bodybuilders, they're going out to eat every night. I don't eat out. I haven't eaten out since February, since my buddy died of cancer. I cook all my own food: organic spinach, organic broccoli, with free range chicken eggs, with grass fed beef or whatever, or wild caught salmon, grass fed butter, tons of water, wheatgrass, like things that are actually going to give me energy. And because of that, I can work out as much as I want. I can be creative as much as I want. I don't feel like shit during the day. My dick isn't hard 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not always obsessing about sex, which, by the way, if you're taking steroids at a high dose, you are obsessed with sex. It's impossible to not be. It's impossible. Unless you're taking, like, something that's elevating your prolactin, or you're having an issue, you're having a side effect. That's the only way that you're not going to have a huge sex drive. And it's a detriment. It's not like a good thing. Like, I know from experience, and, most people, maybe they won't admit it, but it is a problem. At least if you're doing it, just eat healthy, drink plenty of water, do cardio. That way you're going to stay around longer for your family, for your kids, so that you can do better at work, so you can leave something on this planet. And again, this is not an ego thing. Fuck me. Who cares about me, really? This is about you being healthy and being safe. And especially for the kids out there who are considering their first cycle, dude, being big is cool. It is. I'm not going to bullshit you. Seeing your muscles swell up and being huge and getting this crazy V taper, I miss it sometimes. Everybody loves that. But what price do you pay? And is it worth it? And I'm telling you, from doing this for I was on a fucking shitload of gear. I was juiced out of my mind for like 2 years. I could tell you that it's really not worth it. You're going to hurt yourself in the long run. And also, it changes your personality. you know? So if you're going to do it, make sure that you just eat clean, drink water, take your supplements, do your cardio, do your yoga, do your stretching. That's all I got to say. And yeah, take care, guys. Be well. If you're currently bodybuilding now, I'd highly encourage you guys, like, stay away from the orals, stay away from trends, stay away from high doses, like over 500, 750 milligrams per week. You know, do you really need to look like Big Rainy? You know, is that really the biggest goal in life, to be the biggest guy in the gym? By the way, most people don't give a fuck how big you are. Really. Like, if you're doing this for girls, they actually find that intimidating. Like, when I was really big and I was pulling girls, they were like, dude, you are really way too much. Like, I mean, they liked it, but a lot of them were like, whoa, this guy is just like, it's just ridiculous. It's just not like, you know, versus now, or versus, you know, whenever I'm just lean and in shape, you know, girls like that a lot more because it looks normal, it looks natural. You fit in, you look like somebody who's high status, who takes care of his body, but you don't look like somebody who's a freak, you know, like Rich Piana or Boston. Like, you don't look like a freak. You look like a normal person, especially if you aspire to be somebody in business, whatever. I mean, they're again, I also know entrepreneurs who are very successful who do take steroids, who are really big and they are happy, but also, you know, a good portion of them are not super healthy. You know, they vape, they smoke weed, they also party. And dude, bodybuilders, if you're eating bad, taking steroids, and doing recreational drugs like Coke, you're going to die. Like, you are not going to make it. You're going to die at an early age, for sure. If you're not going to die at an early age, you are severely increasing your chances of disease. So that's just all I got to say. Just be careful. If you're a kid out there who's considering a cycle for the first time, get your diet on point. Everybody tells you that. I know you won't listen. But again, I'm just trying to tell you, look, you know, take a look at the death statistics. What are the top 4 or 5 causes of death in America? It's heart disease, which, by the way, steroids enlarge your heart. So does growth hormone. You know, cancer, lower respiratory infections, suicide, that type of stuff. But again, the heart disease, you know, you're greatly impacting your HDL, LDL, lipoprotein transport things, which greatly affect your cholesterol levels. Just be safe. That's the bottom line. Take care, guys. Remember, if you like this video, subscribe down below. Check out my blog at bradholiday.com. And I'm just kind of rebuilding everything after YouTube and Facebook basically destroyed everything that I built up on these platforms over the past couple of years. Peace.